Hello and welcome back to Typical City. Erling Haaland and Kevin De Bruyne. That lethal combination firing on all cylinders once again. Now, will we see that in the Manchester derby? Because Manchester United fans will have sat down and watched, even if they just watched the highlights, that will have stricken fear into the hearts of every United fan watching that. Let's smash them. Let's take them to the cleaners because that was some scintillating football with those two in particular. But will Erling Haaland be the first ever player on Typical City to get a 10 out of 10 performance? It was just Luton, with all due respect to Luton, but he did score 5 goals. So we'll have to wait and see. Stick around to the end of the video to find out whether Erling Haaland is the first player to get a 10 out of 10. And like and subscribe if you're new, of course, and hit the notification and all that good stuff to stay up to date with Typical City and Manchester City content. Now, player ratings is up next, but before I go into that, match stats. Pretty even. Looking at these here, pretty even, which made for a really exciting game. I really enjoyed the game, and Luton played their role in that factor. You know, 43% to Manchester City's 57%. That's probably the most even possession stats we've seen this season. You're normally thinking Arsenal, Liverpool, they're likely to have that level of possession, but Luton, bold, brave, a bit daft. To be honest, a bit daft because they conceded 6 goals, but we were clinical. But as you can see, the shots highlight how clinical we were. 17 shots, 15 of those were on target. 14 shots from Luton, though, so we weren't defensively squeaky clean. You know, we did concede 2 goals and a fair few chances as well. 8 shots on target from Luton, 2.63 XG for Luton to our 3.77. So when you got Erling Haaland firing like that, we obliterate XGs, don't we? It makes it almost irrelevant when he's on the pitch and playing like that. 6 big chances for Luton to our 7. A very even game. Like I said in my preview, I really respect Luton. I really respect them. They made such an exciting football game last night at Kenilworth Road. It was a bit stupid because it was Manchester City and it was sort of inevitable. If you open up like that, then we will create chances. And the clarity of the chances was really good as well. But again, passes pretty even in respect to Luton. 378 passes to our 524. Lately, we've been seeing teams barely getting in over the 300 mark, and we've been like 700 to 800 passes. So it was quite an even game in midfield, end to end. Exciting. I really enjoyed the game. 7 fouls from Luton to our 4 and no cards distributed from the referee. Now, Stefan Ortega. Really disappointed in that one mistake, because if he hadn't made that one mistake, and you're in the goalkeeper, mate, you're a goalkeeper, one mistake can cost a goal. More often than not, it does. It's a position where mistakes can't happen. And it was a big mistake, but outside of that mistake, he played really well. 4 big saves as well, 2 in the space of about 10-15 seconds, one after the other. A one-on-one save, that he parried out. The rebound landed to Ross Barkley. He got himself up again and tipped it round the post. Good goalkeeping from Stefan Ortega. And his distribution was mostly really good. As you can see, 34 long balls, 20 of them were accurate. That's pretty decent. 34 long balls, by the way. 68 touches, which is a real indication of how high Luton pressed using the goalkeeper. You normally see a lot less goalkeepers' touches when there's no press, because we don't need to use the goalkeeper. When the team's sitting on the halfway line, that's the furthest they're willing to get up the pitch, then the goalkeeper's not going to touch the ball as much. When the team is pressing as high as Luton did yesterday, then you use the goalkeeper for that numerical advantage in the build-up play. We saw that yesterday. 68 touches for Ortega indicates that, but it's that one big error that led to their goal. It was taken really well, but it was the error that led to the shot that became a goal from Ortega, let's be honest. But outside of that, good. Just needs to, cut out no mistake. We can't afford a mistake in goalkeeper, like I've said. 7 out of 10 for me. Kyle Walker, he had one moment of absolute brilliance, feeding Kevin De Bruyne. I think that was the 4th goal, or was it the 5th goal? When he fed Kevin De Bruyne. Lovely vision from outside of the boot as well. Like Cancelo's been coaching him a little bit with that technique, just whips it into the channel. Kevin De Bruyne gets on the end of it and cuts it across the face of goal. Erling Haaland makes it, I think it was 5-2 at the time, I think that goal was. Brilliant. Outside of that, there was a couple of moments that worried me. One, right after that moment, right after we'd scored that goal I've just described, the ball comes down Kyle Walker's side and he switches off a little bit, and it was a bit frustrating to see him get done by Doughty a couple of times. There was a moment in the first half where he got to the byline, and I don't know what he was thinking. He just got his pocket picked on the byline and a cross comes in. Got to cut that out, Kyle. We can't have those mistakes in the game. it could have been a lot more costly. Nothing directly came from Kyle Walker's mistakes, but there was one mistake in the first half. The second mistake I've just described was a little bit more of a switching off rather than an out-and-out mistake. Just, yeah, he was okay. Very little defending to actually do for any of the defenders, to be honest, which is odd to say considering the number of chances we actually conceded. But I will describe why, because we defended from the front yesterday. Our defence was Erling Haaland, Bernardo Silva, Kevin De Bruyne, Kovacic and Nunes, Doku as well. All these players were defending from the front line, giving a lot less work to do from our defensive point of view, even though we conceded chances. But 92% passing accuracy, 69 touches for Kyle Walker, 1 key pass, no tackles, 3 ground duels, he only won one of them, 3 clearances, 6.5 for me. Manuel Akanji, 90 minutes played, 67 touches, 93% passing accuracy, no tackles. Again, you can see little to actually do really grimy defensive work. Wasn't really required yesterday. From the performance. 2 interceptions, read the game really well. Ground duels, they only entered into 1. He didn't win it, but still, goes to show there wasn't that much out-and-out defending to do. 5 clearances, though. That is defensive work. Good numbers there from Manuel Akanji, getting up big, and he won the 1 aerial duel that he entered into. 6.5 for me, for Manuel Akanji. Nathan Ake, a very quiet game. Not much came down his side. Again, look at the numbers. There's nothing to talk about. Defensively, very little to talk about. 39 touches as well from our defenders. Do you know what I mean? Ortega's getting the ball more than him, and all the other players, nothing for him to do, really. I'm just glad he came out of the game unscathed, which is great news. 39 touches, 81% passing accuracy, no tackles, 1 block shot, no clearances, 2 aerial duels, he didn't win them. 1 ground duel, he won it. 6 out of 10 for Nathan Ake, because it's like, I can't give him higher because he didn't do anything. You can't give him lower because he didn't do anything. So, decent enough there. I'm just glad he came out unscathed because we're going to need him. John Stones, on the other hand, very little, he didn't do that much, but what he did do was so effective with absolute precision. Just look at these numbers. 33 touches. Again, like Nathan Ake, didn't actually get involved as much as you'd think throughout the course of the 77 minutes that he played, but what he did do was just near perfection. 100% passing accuracy, 3 key passes, 1 aerial duel, he won it. A tackle, he won it. 1 big chance created when he fed Erling Haaland with this marauding run in the first half into that Kevin De Bruyne-esque channel. Feeds Erling Haaland. Haaland should have buried it. That was on Haaland on a hat-trick. And the one where he should have dinked it over Krul before he learnt his lesson and did dink it over Krul. John Stones was amazing. How many times he got to the byline as well, and just very simple stuff, but so effective. And don't forget, this is in the absence of Rodri. He stepped up to the plate, and it was a Rodri performance. Not quite as involved as Rodri is. Rodri's a lot of where Kovacic was kind of doing the half of the Rodri role, and John Stones was doing that marauding push that Rodri's been doing a lot this season, getting forward quite well. Really, really good from John Stones. Super impressed. 8.5 for me. Rico Lewis, quickly go over these substitutes as well because not too much to talk about. 13 minutes of football. There was one back heel that I remember he tried, a bit stupid there. Gave the ball away from that back heel. Other than that, not much to talk about. Zeros in pretty much all the columns. 1 ground duel. Gave the ball away once, and that was that back heel. 6 out of 10 for Rico Lewis. Same again for Sergio Gomez. An interception and a clearance, mind you, which isn't bad, but there was one opportunity to clear the ball prior to the time he actually did clear it. When he's at the back post, he swings at it and completely misses it. He worries me in defence. I love Sergio Gomez on the ball. I think he's got a fantastic left foot. Technical ability isn't in question. Defensive awareness up here, positional awareness, is massively in question for me. A big concern when he's playing left back. For me, he shouldn't play left back. And is there room for him to play on that left side with Nunes, who can now play there, Doku, Grealish, Bernardo Silva, Phil Foden, all would play in that position ahead of Sergio Gomez for me, which is why he's not getting the minutes that he probably wants. Still, though, he was all right. Came on 30 minutes, same as Rico Lewis. Not much to talk about, 6 out of 10. Matheus Nunes, loved it. Absolutely buzzing. I am buzzing off Matheus Nunes. His end product could do with a little bit of refining. I would have loved to have seen him come away with a goal because I felt like he deserved a goal. His performance deserved a goal. He got the chance to take a goal out of this game as well, and he didn't take it. Still, though, these numbers are fantastic. Absolutely brilliant performance. Rock and roll, aggressive, just wham, bam, in the face of everybody. No messing about. Let's get this job done. I love his attitude. I love it. 62 touches, 87% passing accuracy, a key pass, 3 shots, 2 on target, 4 dribble attempts, 4 completed. 10 ground duels he entered. He won 80% of them. Brilliant. 8 times he lost the ball, 8.5 for Matheus Nunes. So much more to come. So much more to come as well. And he's entering into the peak of his career. We've signed a player here. We've signed a player that's going to be, you know, he hasn't received the applause and the accolades of City fans yet. We're cottoning on. We're cottoning on to what this guy's all about, and I'm looking forward to seeing what's next for Matheus Nunes. Same again for Mateo Kovacic, 8 out of 10 performance. A goal has helped him get that 8, to be honest, because it was a 7.5 out of 7 to 7.5 out of 10 for me without the goal. But he takes it well. Tim Krul probably should have saved it, to be honest, because it was a little bit central. But still, great effort, whips it. Not quite into the corner, but still, a goal is a goal, and that's definitely going to help his score. A couple of moments in the first half and the second half, in truth, where he was being surrounded, he was crowded out by a few Luton players, and he dealt with it really well. He's not the most physical guy. He had to sit a lot more. He's playing quite defensively. I prefer seeing him being a bit more of a number 8, up and down in that midfield, which was John Stones' role, to be honest, and Kovacic sort of propped him up a little bit and sat behind him. And he didn't do badly by any stretch of the imagination. And in fact, he completed 3 tackles and entered into 4 ground duels and won 3 of them. So defensively, he did okay. I just do think it's a susceptibility to Kovacic's game. I think you can get past him a little bit easier than you can get past John Stones or Rodri. Those two are just such big units to bypass. And Kovacic defensively isn't his strongest point. He still played really well, though. Everything he did was simple, nice, crisp passing of the ball. Nothing outrageous, but he added a goal to his game, which is fantastic to see. That's going to do the world of good for his confidence. 8 out of 10 for me. 8 out of 10. Brilliant. Kevin De Bruyne. And wow, just a scintillating performance from Kevin De Bruyne. Let's give him the score straight away. 9.5. 4 assists and 4 key passes, by the way, outside. So, I mean, he could have been coming away from a lot more. 2 big chances missed, of which one was a big chance missed has gone down from that volley where Bernardo Silva dinks it over. What a move that was, by the way. What a move. But Bernardo Silva dinks it over the top, and De Bruyne's volley, like, sort of over the top of him, and he waits for it, and this technique was just brilliant. Good save from Tim Krul. Haaland should have buried the rebound on that move, but that's gone down as a big chance missed. But he did everything he could do with that chance, to be honest. Kevin De Bruyne. He also created 3 big chances outside of the 4 assists that he got, plus the 4 key passes. So, I mean, the guy could have been coming away with, let's do the maths there, he could have been coming away with 11 assists, really. He could have been 11 assists for Kevin De Bruyne if everyone was firing on all cylinders. I mean, the key passes technically aren't assists, are they? But still. And you can see the fact that 78% is actually low for a lot of midfielders. He isn't that guy, though. He's the guy who tries the audacious. I keep saying it. That's why you're always going to see Kevin De Bruyne's pass percentage to be lower than the rest of the team usually, because he goes for that killer ball, the ball that breaks defences open. And he did it with ease yesterday, with ease. That one ball to De Bruyne, through to Haaland for the second goal. Haaland studs it back to Kevin De Bruyne, and De Bruyne just feeds him through. Haaland's just sprinting at goal, not even looking behind him, just looking at that grass in front of him, knowing full well there is going to be a football in his vision in a matter of seconds. And Kevin De Bruyne just delivered the most perfect ball right through the gap between the right side of Erling Haaland and the left side of Ted Mengi, right into the path of Erling Haaland without breaking stride. Haaland's in on goal, just knowing full well what Kevin De Bruyne is going to do. It was such a perfect, precise pass from Kevin De Bruyne. What a performance. Brilliant. Brilliant. So excited to see what's more now. The combination, the link-up play. 9.5 for Kevin De Bruyne. Superb. Jack Grealish, gutted, absolutely gutted. Injured, again. You're just hoping it's not serious. He went off and he was heartbroken, wasn't he? I mean, he looked like he was hiding tears, to be honest. He buried his head in his training coat, didn't he? And I feel for him. Didn't do much on the pitch while he was on the pitch. He got that one shot forced to save from Tim Krul. Gutted. You're just hoping it's nothing serious. Hopefully he can be back soon, because another player that I think we're going to need for the rest of the season. And it's a real shame that he's just not getting the rub of the green right now. His body's letting him down here and there, and his legs are just, it's just unlucky. Can't do anything about it. But 81% passing accuracy, 20 touches from the 38 minutes that he was on the pitch. 2 ground duels, he won 1, lost the ball 5 times. Can't give him more than a 6, really. Jeremy Doku, not as impactful as I wanted him to be. I want to see a little bit more from Jeremy. He wasn't bad by any stretch of the imagination. I felt like if that game went on for 10 more minutes, 15 more minutes, he'd have probably got himself a goal, because there was opportunities arising towards the latter stages of that game where Doku got that one shot as well, and he wasn't a million miles away trying to whip it into that top corner. Wasn't that far away. A little bit unlucky. The fact that he's not crossed the ball once, though, in 52 minutes of football, in a game where there was quite a few opportunities to get a ball into the box, was a little bit surprising for me. No key passes either. But 6 ground duels, he won 50% of them. He lost the ball 6 times. 2 out of 3 dribbles were successful, which isn't bad. 94% ball retention, really good, but not much. I need to see a little bit more powerful impact from Doku, because that's his game, and we're not seeing him play his normal game. It was a bit of a Jack Grealish performance, to be honest. In ball retention was top notch, kept that ball ticking really, really well, but there wasn't any intent in his game. 6.5 for me. Bernardo Silva was brilliant, absolutely superb from Bernardo Silva. 71 touches, 89% passing accuracy. These numbers are absolutely brilliant, and another indication why the defenders didn't need to do that much defending. As you can see, 5 ground duels. He won 3 of them. He intercepted the ball 3 times brilliantly. 3 tackles as well. A little bit loose with the ball. He did give it away a few times, but 4 key passes to his name and an assist, mind you, as well. Don't forget. So brilliant from Bernardo Silva. We're going to need him, and he always turns up in the Manchester derby. Bernardo Silva does. So I'm looking forward to seeing him on the pitch at the Etihad against Manchester United. 8 out of 10 for me. Brilliant. Oscar Bob, another quiet substitute appearance. 13 minutes of football, 9 touches, 75%. 1 key pass, mind you. 3 ground duels, he won 1 of them. He lost the ball 3 times. Very little to speak about here, to be honest. I want to see more from Oscar Bob. I want to see him get more minutes. I felt like he should have started this game, to be honest. But we won 6-2, so it's hard to argue with the decisions that Pep made, of which Pep agreed with the majority of my preview as well. It was only Rodri that I put in the team that Pep didn't. And I did want to see Oscar Bob as well, but Pep knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing, and hopefully we'll see more of Oscar Bob just sprinkled into the team here and there, and then next season we'll probably see the best of this kid. Really looking forward to that. Julian Alvarez is someone of the same amount of minutes as everyone, but quite impactful. That was a substitute appearance that warrants an extra 0.5 in my opinion, because he did enough. He caught my eye. He comes onto the pitch. He probably had Erling Haaland giving him a high five as he's walking off the pitch and saying, "Go and get yourself a goal, mate. Go and get a goal, Alvarez. Go and get one, mate." And he probably felt the pressure, because he's just sat on the bench and watched his potential competition for that position at least, score 5 goals. So he's got to come on the pitch and try and do something to remind people that he's still here and still a very, very valuable player to Manchester City. And he did all right in the 30 minutes of football. He got a shot away, forced a save. He attempted 2 dribbles. He completed both of them. He entered into 2 ground duels. He won both of them. And he only lost the ball once. I think he deserves an extra 0.5 for me. So 6.5 for Julian Alvarez. Now, Erling Haaland. Is this the first ever 10 out of 10 for Erling Haaland, or any Manchester City player for that fact? I've never given a 10 out of 10. Erling Haaland. Yeah, he did all right. He did all right. He did all right. Yeah, 10 out of 10. It was Luton at the end of the day. Played pretty well. 5 goals. Not bad. Not bad at all. Yeah, come on, let's be honest. What a performance. What a performance from Erling Haaland. Sensational. Because it's not just the goals that I'm so happy with as well. It was everything. The body language was absolutely just breathtaking. The movement on that pitch. Ted Nmengi's going to be having nightmares. Maybe forever. Maybe he'll go to the grave with those memories of that match, and just telling his grandkids one day, I remember playing against Erling Haaland, and what I don't think he speaks like some whatever accent that was. I'm pretty sure Ted Nmengi doesn't sound like that. But I'm pretty sure he's going to tell his grandkids about the time he got destroyed. Not with pride, but he's going to have to live with that moment because Erling Haaland obliterated him in this game, and it was so powerful and forthright with everything he did was almost spot on. It was a virtually perfect number 9 performance. You can't ask for much more from Erling Haaland like that. The only thing you can ask now is to just give us that again. Maybe I'm not asking for 5 goals every game, let's be realistic, but that performance is what I want. The ability to hold up the play, laying it off to Bernardo Silva, to Kevin De Bruyne, whoever it may be, chasing down lost causes. Powerful football from Erling Haaland, running into the channel, finding space. Now, the opposition that you're up against is a factor to why he played as well as he did, in my opinion, because I thought they were a little bit loose in defence. Their tactics were also very much suited to Erling Haaland, to giving him space. How often are we going to see this season teams play as open as Luton did and allow that amount of space for Erling Haaland running in on goal 30, 40, 50 yards away from Tim Krul or whatever goalkeeper he's going to go up against? How often are we going to see that? Teams are going to present a low block, and I wouldn't be surprised if Erik ten Hag comes and plays a dirty low block and just tries to hit us on the break, in which case we're going to struggle to see the best or this type of performance from Erling Haaland, where he has all the space in the world and is given so much freedom to enact his game and destroyed Luton yesterday. It was brilliant. What a performance. The first 10 out of 10, fully deserved. Just to give you his numbers, 38 touches, 87% passing accuracy, 2 key passes, 1 out of 2 aerial duels won, 7 shots, 7 on target, and a big chance created as well, mind you. He only lost the ball 7 times, 10 out of 10 for Erling Haaland, and that completes the player ratings. What a performance from Manchester City. Can we carry this now going into the Manchester derby? That's the big question. I think we have to now. We have to send a massive statement. I'm not expecting a massive scoreline. I'll take any type of scoreline, but I want to see a convincing Manchester City performance at the Etihad against Manchester United, and it will send shockwaves around the Premier League that Manchester City are in business, because right now they're purring on the idea that, we only win 1-0. We're struggling to score goals, but yesterday that was a little reminder of what we can do. Blues, get in the comments below. I want to hear your thoughts. What are your player ratings? Do you think he deserved a 10 out of 10? Because I've given him one. That's the first and probably the only one this season that I'm going to give out, to be honest, because you can't really ignore 5 goals. Let's be honest. But get your thoughts in the comments below. Let us know. Like and subscribe to the video as well. It is Typical City, of course, and I'll see you in the next one.
This is Typical City now, holding up Silva.